Hello everybody and welcome to this video where we're going to be talking about the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck and Guidebook by Kim Kranz. So I am going to be fully transparent with you guys. This deck came into my life and I was like, sure, why not? But if we talk about the Wild Unknown decks in general, I actually do not have anymore. So when the first Wild Unknown deck, the indie deck, the self-published version of it came out, I hopped on the train because I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to have this. I was fairly new to tarot. And I didn't jive with the deck. I kept it for a long time and it just didn't work for me, which is fine. And then I went and got the mass market edition and kept that for a while, and that didn't really do a whole lot for me either. I used it, and I will say the deck is it's amazing. It's a great deck, but I just didn't use it. And like from a collector standpoint, like I may get it again just to have it, but I actually gifted it to somebody. The Animal Spirit deck I got, and I just couldn't resonate with it. And animal decks are hit or miss for me. But I was actually a birthday present to myself, and I was like, sure, why not? I'll get it, and we'll see how it goes. But it didn't resonate with me. So I bet you guys are probably like, oh, well, what about this deck? Why did you get it? Well, it's a long story, but anyway, I had the deck, and ta-da. So I actually have looked at this deck. I've been sitting on it for a little bit. So we're just going to talk about it, and I wasn't trying to keep this video less than 10 minutes, but I don't know if that's going to happen now because I'm already at 2. Because I wanted to put this on Instagram and on YouTube. Now I will say this. So I got rid of the decks because I personally did not jive with them. Were they amazing decks? Absolutely. They were phenomenal. The guidance was deep, the guidance was amazing, but it's just they didn't spark my intuition, I guess. But this deck is different from what I've already looked at. So this is the box, and the back of the box has some of the cards on it. I'm not going to read this just for time, but it retails for $40 and is published by Harper One. So this is a little sleeve, and this is the box. When I was watching Kelly from The Truth in Story, she pointed out how the box has a UPC code on it, and I was like, oh really? Because the outer box does too. So magnetic, accept all, reject none. There's another box in here that houses the cards. And there's a little string in here to get all the stuff out. That's the box. Great box. Wonderful box. And that's the way it is with the mass market editions of the new deck as well. So, and if for some reason this goes above 10 minutes, it will only be on YouTube. It will not be on Instagram. So this is the guidebook. And this is how thick the guidebook is. So there are, like I said, we're not going to go through all of this. But there are like 5, I guess you can call them suits or whatever you want to call them. The selves, the places, the tools, the initiations. Oh, there's actually 4. I thought there was 5. Okay, cool. So this is a 78 card deck. So in here you have the ocean within the mountain. You have the sphere of influence, awakening the archetypes, understanding the deck, using the cards, and then you get into the archetypes on page 61. So there's a lot. So there's a lot going on here. Her books are very, very deep. Like her decks are very deep. Awakening the archetypes. There's a lot. understanding the deck. So she breaks everything down for you. She also talks about how there's spreads in here, which are really cool. But she also talks about, I like this, heaven, underworld, past, self, future. How if the cards are like this or like this, like what that could possibly mean, which I really, really like. So then we go into the selves. So then we, if you look in here, so it has the mother, it has when light, so the mother, sorry, when light, when dark, go deeper. And then the great mother, feminine, the source. Notice the mother archetype is expressed in nature. This is perhaps the most balanced and benevolent form of the mother's grace. And then we're talking about maiden, mother, crone. So you have a lot for each card, including a full page, almost full size. Actually, it might be full size. No, it's not full size. Almost full size representation of the card. So there's a lot. There's a lot in this deck. So this is the. We're going to be over 10 minutes, which is totally fine, not a big deal. So these are the cards. They are round. I only have one other deck that is round, and it is the Crystal Medicine Oracle, which I haven't made a video about too, so I'll be doing that. But I only have one other deck that's round, so a round deck is very interesting. I have noticed to shuffle, but it's actually pretty cool. So we're just gonna go through some of the cards. So this is a collage type deck. I didn't really know exactly what that entailed until I saw like the mixed art, and I was like, oh, that's what it is. Actually, we're gonna do it like this. So yeah, 78 cards, and they're Roman numerals, which is even more fun because you're like, what is this? So these are the last cards, which you could probably tell because that's 72. And it's a very interestingly done deck. Now, like I said, I don't really know if I'm going to be keeping it. I have no idea. I might try to use it in readings to see how things work out with it. Like, because the readings I've done for myself, to be completely honest, are super accurate. Like, super accurate. Like, it's a very intriguing deck, I will say. And just like looking at the way that it's done, and the cardstock is really, really good too. Just looking at the way it's done, it might be my favorite Wild Unknown product. And I'm actually using, I don't even know if you guys, I forgot to even tell you guys this. This cloth was a Christmas present, and it's actually the Wild Unknown tarot cloth. I use it all the time. You can see, well, you can't see it, but it says the Wild Unknown right here. I love this cloth a lot. So it's a very Wild Unknown theme going on here that I did not intend. I did not do it on purpose. I think, and I'll just talk as I go through these. I love this one. I think that maybe I don't really know. I don't really know why I got rid of the other ones. I think maybe it was just because I haven't used them, and maybe because I have a very, and this is gonna sound very bad, I have a low tolerance for like oracle card decks that don't give keywords like on the actual like oracle card. Because tarot is a system, and we all know tarot. Like, if you have a tarot deck and you're learning tarot, for the most part, you can learn with a deck, with pretty much any deck, in the same like system that you're trying to learn. Oracle cards to me are very different, and it's a lot to commit to memory to know each and every Oracle card, like in every single deck that you own. And for me, I didn't want to commit to learning all the animals. I didn't. Like, some people, they don't have to commit to learning all the animals, they just do. And it's like, yay, I know all the animals. And for me, I just didn't have the time to commit to learn everything. Now, if that deck came out and it had keywords on it, I'm here for it all. But I didn't want to, like in my spiritual team reading, I have a crystal deck and I have an Alana Fairchild deck that I read from the guidebook from in the reading, because it's such a this card is creepy as shit. Because the meanings are so like profound that I'm not going to mess around and like get something wrong. You know what I mean? So that could very well be it. But this deck, I do feel a little different about, even though there are no keywords, obviously. There's a lot, like this gives you, to me, this gives you more room to work with your intuition, and that's what she wants. Like, she wants this deck to spark, like, your intuition. And it looks like this will be a YouTube only video. The prayer, the seed, the stone, the dead end. This cardstock is nice. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's so nice. It's great. And obviously, I'm gonna draw a card for you guys. When I get to the end of this deck. But a 78 card like Oracle deck is legit. Especially if you're doing like a really big tarot reading. The only thing, I do wish that the cards were possibly a little smaller. So like if we look at the size of these cards compared to the Crystal Medicine, like this, to me, this size is really nice. And I'm not being a bitch about the card size, but I would very much like that. But I also really, Apocalypsis is a great card too. I would very much love a reprint of the Animal Spirit deck with keywords, because I would be all over that, like white on rice, or jasmine on rice, or basmati on rice, or yellow on rice, or brown on rice, or is there a black rice? I don't know. I think there is. The Storm, the Vision. I had no idea these cards got so topsy-turvy. The Gem, that's really cute. The Ring, 7 days. The Nectar, the Medallion, the Kiss, the Mask, the Sword, the Hunter, the Warrior. All right, so let's get a card. Let's get a card for all of us now. Wow, God. This card is going to be for anybody watching this video. So if you're watching this video right now, the day I post it, or if you're watching it 3 years from now, this card is going to be for you, because that's how this works. People are meant to watch this video at the time that they are meant to watch this video. So we have the Shapeshifter. And it doesn't look like the Shapeshifter is in any sort of like turn or angle. So I'm going to read from the guidebook. It's card number 15, which is interesting because card number 15 is corresponding to the Devil card in tarot, which I just posted a spread about on my Instagram. All right. So I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to read it along. Okay. The Shapeshifter has a love of theater, games, and trickery. Its energy appears as one thing, only to reveal a more complex story below the surface. The Shapeshifter is within all of us to some degree, and it is the side of ourselves that is slippery, non-committal, and experimental, and longs to dismiss the rules. We need its energy to adopt the ever-changing landscape of our existence. When the Shapeshifter card appears, it's important to imagine you are looking at life through a kaleidoscope rather than a single focused lens. At any moment, the scene may shift, revealing a more enchanting vision than you imagined. Be wary, though, as the allure of the kaleidoscope can leave you exhausted and yearning for solid ground. Dancing long-term with the Shapeshifters requires a central pillar of integrity that links us back to our center. So, when light, it is vibrant, adaptive, and humorous. So this is in the light because I assumed that when it's straight up, it's in the light. And so on the actual side of the book right here, it says the Shapeshifter is related to the mask. Notice if these cards come up together in one reading. If so, you are in a realm of heavy theater, illusion, and possibly deception. Now let's see what the other side says. The ultimate Shapeshifter works undercover in service of greater good. The diminished Shapeshifter becomes a people pleaser. So ask yourself this question: if you're watching this video right now, with your Shapeshifter card, are you using your ability to adapt to your circumstances to serve other people, or are you using it to maybe do something a little bit more nefarious? That's up to you. I have to say, the energy of this deck feels different, and I hope that didn't seem like I was shitting on the Wild Unknown decks. I absolutely was not. They are beautiful decks. They just, I just have my own thing with Oracle cards, and it's just one of those things. But beautiful cards, the artwork is always stunning, and I think another thing that honestly gets me about these decks is they can be so raw and rip you open to the point where you are just kind of begging for it to stop. I'm excited about this deck. I'm very interested to see how this is going to work in conjunction with tarot. If you would like a reading with this deck, which once again is the Archetypes deck by the Wild Unknown, you can comment below. I've got you covered, and I'm super excited to see how this deck is going to serve my spiritual path and my spiritual journey. If you are looking to book a reading with me, you can do so at the link down here in my bio, in my description. Sorry, I keep saying bio like it's on Instagram. My yearly readings, at the time that I'm publishing this, I have 6 yearly readings left, so get on that. For 2020. Yeah, so let me know if you have any questions. Leave a comment. What's your favorite tarot card deck? What did you think about this deck? Let me know. I really want to know what you guys think. I love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.